I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won one. Yeah. I hope my team they won one. Yeah. Man, I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. Yeah. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with this hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson. Yes.
This is Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, the Indy Report, and I have my man from the HU Power Shift, Jeffrey Johnson. How are you doing, sir?
Man, I'm sitting here having cabin fever because all of this snow.
Oh yeah, y'all can have fun with that, cause
oh God, it's
y'all can, listen. No, it ain't. It ain't. How many y'all got, man? I listen.
Okay, so unfortunately, in most parts of the state of Maryland, it's been pretty light, but for us, we have about 6 inches, 6 to 7 inches. I know it's nothing, but you gotta understand, it's like I'm a Southerner, so
I am too.
So it's like now I'm just like. It's been 4 days since I've been able to go into the office. So you already know.
Yeah, well, I got tomorrow off, so I'm going to enjoy being at the crib tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's the National Day of Mourning for Jimmy Carter tomorrow. So
yeah,
so all federal.
Shout out to my Georgia boy.
He was an interesting president. I wasn't around when he was. I born when he was? No, I don't think. No, I wasn't born because it was 80 to 80. What was it? 76 to 80, right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't born yet.
Me neither. But Carter. My thing is being from Georgia. He was pretty much he's a huge figure in Georgia state politics. But it's like for us, it's like. We know him as Peanut Farmer Jimmy, and he was on, and his church, literally the church that he actually preached at was in Statesboro, but he had a church in Atlanta off of Bankhead that he frequented, Bankhead. So I give him his props. He was really about that stuff. So
no question, and he never was bought, and that was the thing that I respected about him as a politician. Because a lot of politicians they'll cash out.
Oh yeah,
being the president, but he wasn't bought. That's one thing I respect about Jimmy Carter,
and that's what I think that made him unpopular to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Need more politicians like him. So rest in power to him.
Hold on, before you go, first we got to say, give our condolences to Mr. CIAA who just passed. Abraham Mitchell, aka Mr. CIAA. He passed. He was 95 years old. And for all those who have been made the CIAA tournament the staple, he was always there. He was literally his fashion is what HBCU culture is about. I think he was a huge testament to it, huge statement to it. He'll be greatly missed.
Oh, absolutely. Like I've only gone to the CIAA tournament once. I went in 2023, and let me say, he wasn't there. I guess the last time he was there was 2020.
Yeah.
However, the CIAA tournament is Black culture at its finest.
Yeah.
I know that was they moved to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Still phenomenal. More folk, and it was pretty good crowds at the games throughout the entire tournament, which was very commendable from that standpoint. He will be missed. Like, we always have the discussions about these tournaments and passing the torch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very important from that aspect, particularly when it comes to the traditions of these Black college tournaments. Because the CIAA tournament is one of the biggest basketball tournaments. Period. Not just Division II.
Yeah.
Period.
And what I love about it is it's still purely basketball. I mean, it does. I loved it when it moved out of Charlotte because I kind of felt like that Charlotte was taken away from more of the tournament. It was all about the events outside. So, I do like it in Baltimore because you don't really want to hang out too tough around West Side Baltimore. So
I mean, I stayed near. I was like walking distance from the arena.
Yeah.
Where the hotel was at, so I was cool. I enjoyed it, man. I kind of had a blast.
The YNs out there, man. So just be careful.
Yeah, I ain't had no issues. But let me go ahead and run through the intro. Welcome to episode 610 of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab radio show and podcast, the show that's covering the sporting HBCU diaspora, all things HBCU sports for institutions large and small, from the NAIA to the NCAA. We share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture and HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU athletic programs and the business of HBCU sports. I'm your host, I'm about to call myself Dr. Cavil. I'm your host, David Rhodes, alongside Jeffrey Johnson. And hopefully we might get Brandon King later. We're going to see. Stay tuned.
Hey, well, hold on. Them twins, you know, I mean, and for those who know, me and my wife are expecting two, and it's twins. So
God bless you, bro.
Yeah, so everything that me and Brandon discuss, I'm like, oh God, I'm about to walk into that buzzsaw. So
oh yeah, man. Props to you. I'm out of the children business.
Yeah, I thought I was too until I heard like, hey, I'm not feeling too good. What you mean?
I'm not feeling too good.
Twins. Yo, come on now. Oh.
Yeah, my brother had his youngest in his 40s, so
yeah.
I don't envy that, bro. I don't envy that one bit. Don't envy that one bit.
Yeah.
But let me say, all right, do you got any news? Any other news that you want to discuss probably before we go to break?
No, I figured we give, Mr. CIAA, his props, but outside of that, no, we're good.
All right. There was a presser that happened today.
Oh, it sure was.
I'll be honest, man. Deshaun Jackson's saying the right things.
Yeah.
I'm there was a couple pressers that happened. Maybe we'll go over some other ones after the break.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sam Shade had one too.
I haven't had a chance to watch Sam Shane's. I did watch Tremaine Jackson's, and let me tell you right now, sir.
Yeah.
They got a coach, man. And I think Sam Shade's going to do well at Alabama A&M, but I'm almost ready. I'm pretty much ready to pencil in Prairie View to win the West.
Yeah, Soldier. Like you saw the temperament, and he was like, okay.
Oh yeah. Now he and the thing is, Prairie View is perfect for him because they tend to play a tough out of conference schedule. So that is like when you want to talk about a perfect fit.
And facilities too.
Yeah, he got the facilities. Yeah. Perfect fit for him. Perfect fit. The way that they schedule their games out of conference. Nah, man. He's the right guy. Like I think I know we always talk about how the SWAC out of conference schedule, and MEAC isn't that. MEAC is just a little bit better than the SWAC because out of conference. They're better than the SWAC from that standpoint. But I think he's going to shift that at least at Prairie View, and I think Jackson State's doing the right things too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So like, and it's just to be, but I think they got the West already locked in. But I know everybody's like, well, it's too soon for that. The portal and everything else.
Way too soon. But I understand based upon his temperament, and I think the ferocity that I've heard what other coaches said about how he approaches the actual game. Then I think they definitely got somebody that is probably. I haven't seen that style of coaching since, to be honest, I don't think I haven't seen his style of coaching in the SWAC ever. So I'm definitely intrigued at what he could do there.
Yeah, he already got his offensive and defensive coordinators locked in. He's taking the DC from Valdosta State with him. Yeah. Yeah. And he grabbed the offensive coordinator from the staff at Sam Houston State.
Yeah.
So he's already building the staff, man. So
is Prairie View coming out the bag for this guy?
I mean, think about it, man. Like he probably got a substantial raise than what he was making at Valdosta.
Yeah, true.
At a Division school. I mean, we don't know what the numbers are.
Yeah, we don't know the numbers. Yeah, but Valdosta State is a a higher tier Division II program. So, I mean, I know the pay gap between Division I and Division II is substantially increases.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure. And plus Prairie View, honestly, they've been putting money into their facilities for a while. So I think they probably came out the bag for them, or they're looking for the money.
Oh no, they got the money. I ain't worried about that. I'm pretty sure the numbers will come out at some point about how much he made. But I think what it ultimately boils, I think he's getting comparable to what maybe some of the other coaches within that conference has gotten. Yeah. That man is that man went to the national championship in Division II.
Yeah,
he's got credentials, man. Yeah, well, that was a little different. That was a little different. He took his MEAC squad with him. You know what I'm saying? That was a little bit different. That was a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to see what Tremaine does. I'm looking forward to see what Sam Shea does.
Sure.
And I'm fascinated by what's going on in Delaware State, man. So it's going to be interesting to see how Deshaun Jackson navigates this.
Yeah.
He's saying the right things. He showed up to the ladies' game.
Yeah.
I don't know if he stayed for the whole game because that was a pretty big drubbing, but
yeah, it was.
But they were playing Norfolk, and I said this on HBCU Nightly on Sunday. Norfolk State should be blowing out, and we're going to talk about women's hoops after the break more. But Norfolk State should be beating all the MEAC schools by at least double digits if they're trying to get a 12 or 13 seed in the tournament.
Oh no,
they need to dominate that conference.
I mean, they will have I think they will have a hiccup here and there. We'll discuss where the hiccups will be. Yeah,
we'll definitely do that. So after the break, I guess we can start with women's hoops. So after the break, we'll get into women's hoops. A&T's played a couple games, Hampton played a couple games. Tennessee State did too. So we'll talk about those games among the break. So we'll be right back. This is Dr. Cavil's inside the HBCU Sports Lab, the Indy Report.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavil of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app. As we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, everybody get down. It's like a loop machine.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Looking for the ultimate cultural experience of 2025? The Zora Outdoor Festival of the Arts is where you need to be. From January 31st to February 2nd, Eatonville, Florida will come alive with incredible live performances from the Levert Experience and the Bar Cave. Immerse yourself in interactive art. Shop from over 80 vendors. Take a journey through history with a new virtual tour app. And enjoy family-friendly STEM activities. Plus, don't miss the unforgettable R&B tribute to the legends, honoring talents such as Whitney Houston, Marvin Gaye, and Luther Vandross. This is more than a festival. It's a celebration of Eatonville's rich cultural heritage. Visit zorafestival.org for tickets.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they want to lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gonna teach a lesson.
Welcome back to Dr. Cavil's Inside HBCU Sports Lab, the Indy Report. We'll start with Tennessee State, man. They're They're having it rough right now, and I know. I know Brandon ain't here. He's dealing with them twins, and that's very respectable from that standpoint. But currently, they lost to SEMO 68-75, and they lost to Little Rock 63-67. They're 0-4 in conference right now.
Yeah.
So I'm worried about the ladies right now.
Yeah.
But we'll see, man. It's a long season. You know, I believe all the teams make the tournament in the OVC, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, they do. And if you look at some of these beatdown, like they're losing by double digits. And some of these games aren't even close. Like the SEMO game, the closest one they had was against Little Rock. And Little Rock isn't a really good program. So I do feel that their season already is starting to slip away from them. And only thing I see that's coming up that's winnable is Lindenwood, of course. Lindenwood and
play tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's it. You know, because the heavy hitters are coming back. And Lindenwood and Little Rock are the only two that I would say that are very winnable, but it's not looking good for them.
Yeah, man. I didn't realize, like, I know Brandon said that they were going to be in a rebuilding type of phase this year with the ladies program. So, but I didn't realize how rough it was. Currently they're on a 6-game losing streak. So hopefully they'll be able to break that trend very soon. Moving on, I'll talk about A&T, the ladies of A&T. You know, they found their stride, man. They're currently on a 4-game winning streak.
Yeah.
They started conference play last weekend. They dominated Elon, 57-40, and then they dominated. They beat you guys pretty bad too, man. In Hampton, man. It was rough, man. 75-48.
Yeah.
So next up for them, they got Delaware. They're going to Delaware on Friday, and then they're going to Townsend on Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting if they can keep it up. Like from the ladies' standpoint, they got the defensive intensity and their shots are starting to hit.
Yeah,
and that's a dangerous combination with them. They've been able to score on transition. They've tampered down the turnovers a bit. Still not where I would like it to be.
Yeah.
But they tampered those down a bit. They look good, man. They were picked to win the conference, and they're playing like it right now.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. Like the way you guys I would have beat us down too the way that you did at our own home. I mean, it's no harm on that, but yeah, you guys definitely have a squad there, and but
yeah, we've been trying to, and I'll give you, and there was a lot of Aggies, man, at the Convocation Center too, man. We have some Aggies in the building too,
which is interesting because I never knew that there were many Aggies that lived in the Hampton Roads area. So
we're all over that area. We're all over VA, Maryland.
Yeah.
We're all over there, man.
Yeah, which makes sense because they're all next door to each other. And then if you just look at what Hampton's women are doing, we're 4-9. We lost to you guys 48-75, man. We lost to William and Mary at Kaplan Arena 52-71. And this is still first year.
Yeah.
But I think what I've noticed so far is that we don't really have a serviceable big. I really like our center that we do have, but I feel like it's definitely difficult for her to kind of integrate into the game. Running up and down the court is not her thing. So it's more of like they're trying to figure out the style of offense that fits all 5 players on the team. And so unfortunately, you're playing a bunch of wings out there, and the big is huffing and puffing, getting back up on the court. She's only playing like 3 to 4, I would say maybe minutes a half. And you're just starting to notice is that it's affecting us on the boards, primarily with rebounds and defensive stops. So we're just still trying to piece together, what type of team we can get, out of this season. But it is still early. We're 4-9, so we'll see.
So it's interesting, man, because you guys beat Georgia in overtime in out of conference play. So you guys have the capability to be good.
We do.
And so I don't want to. I know you beat them up pretty bad, but I don't want to miss sight on that.
No, we're not beating them up pretty bad. It's like because I think it's like, and it's not like what we expect. I think for us, it's that so David Six, like he tore up the office when he left. Like he knocked over all the furniture, he smeared the walls, and so Coach Augustine, she got in there and she just kind of looking around and she's trying to figure out what in the world am I going to do. And so we all know this. So, and we're all patient because we were definitely patient with David Six. So I'm okay with it, and we understood. We understand it. But we need to talk about Norfolk State girls.
Oh God, we're going to talk about them. Don't fret. Yeah. I'm gonna let Braden King in this conversation. He's here. He's got a bundle of joy in his hand. You ready, man?
What's going on?
Hey,
he got a bundle of joy in his hand. But what's going on, man?
I'm doing good. We'll see how this goes. But I went 1 for 2. I got one of them asleep, so she's downstairs with her mother.
oh
So
God.
Braylon's with me. So I said let's see if we can slide on the show. We'll see how this goes.
All right. You wouldn't be the first one on the lab with children. So
This is going to be me.
You'll be good, Brandon.
It's going to be me in a couple of months with 2.
Oh yeah,
this
man.
is a look into your future.
Oh, mercy.
But the difference is that you only got half of your future. The other half is on another state, another floor.
Yeah.
So we talked about your ladies, man. I know right now y'all don't have a conference win yet. Any thoughts on the Tennessee State women?
They're a little further behind than I thought they would be. I knew that this would be kind of a rebuilding project, but they have looked a little worse than I thought. But at the same time, I'm not pressing the panic button or anything like that. We did just have an injury to Lyric Cole, so that's obviously going to be a big blow for the team. But I'm not hitting the panic button. It's just year one. I'm going to give Coach Dupree time to bring in her young ladies and really, give her time to put her stamp on the program. Considering, and I know it's a different sport. If we gave Coach George 4 years, we saw it happen in year 4. I think we just have to exercise some patience and let this thing play out, and then, a couple years, then we can reassess from here. But it's kind of too early to be frantic or frazzled right now.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. I mean, you're only 4 games in. I mean, it's about seeing the progression, right?
Yeah,
it's about seeing the progression. So let's talk some MEAC, man. Because listen, Norfolk State are the Monstars.
Yeah.
That's who they are.
Yeah.
That's who they're gonna be.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna be bolting out these teams. And I think the only teams that can give those guys a challenge.
I got 2. Go ahead.
Coppin.
Yep.
And Howard.
Not Morgan?
No.
You don't think Morgan can?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I do agree with Coppin. I also agree with Howard, but I will add Morgan.
Okay.
And I have a formula because I've watched them play. So Diamond and Kiera, those 2, ballers, huge ballers. My thing is, if you ever looked at Kiera Wheeler, she shoots like she's not even 300%, or she's shooting 5 for 28 from the 3-point line. If you get her jacking up them threes continuously, you can get close. And I watched a few games where they had to rein her in a few times as the score got tighter. So if any coaches listening, please do this, because she loves to just sit by that corner shot or the top of the key. Those are her 2 spots. Let her shoot it. She barely.
You saying that
she only got 5 so far, and But yeah, so that's my whole thing with her. Now Diamond, ain't nobody gonna stop her.
Nah.
Nah. Ain't nobody gonna stop her.
Yeah. So you saying they need to play the Josh Smith defense on her?
Oh yeah, look, go ahead. You got it. Go ahead. Hey, give back to her. Why y'all pass it to her? No, but I'm gonna tell you this though. Whenever she's driving in the lane, oh, she's buckets. It's like when she starts feeling herself and get out on that corner, or she get out that top of the key. That's what it's like. Why? But that's my thing. I think Coppin State has enough to beat them.
We're gonna find out very soon. You want to know why?
Why?
They play Saturday.
Yep.
At Norfolk. They play Saturday, so we're gonna find out real fast. We gonna know real quick.
I just don't think Coppin's,
and it's gonna be on ESPN Plus.
They're just not a good road team. Whenever if they play Coppin's winning. They playing at Morgan is winning. Howard may be, but
yeah, they got the next two games. They got Coppin in Norfolk, and then they got Morgan State in Morgan. So we about to find out.
Yeah,
because if those ladies run Coppin out the gym, it's gonna be curtains.
They can do that at home, but they're not doing it in Baltimore though.
Okay, we're gonna see.
So yeah, definitely that.
You know, I'm looking at their schedule, man. Here's their schedule. They got Norfolk has Coppin at home. They got Morgan on the road. Then they playing Virginia University of Lynchburg and Norfolk.
Okay, why is everybody still booking these people, man?
I don't know. That ain't my call. It's Youth Day, Youth Cheer Battle, and NSU Unity Cheer.
Please.
Then they play Howard on January 25th.
Yeah.
You know, so like, you know, I feel like, and that pretty much covers the rest of January for Norfolk State.
Yeah.
And I feel like if they dominate like I expect them to, it's gonna be right. They're not gonna lose a game, man. Like
no, hold on. I agree, but if you notice, they got Coppin and Morgan back to back though.
So, minutes to do.
Yeah. February 22nd, February 24th. Those are the two games I feel that they probably will struggle.
Okay, we're gonna see, man. Yeah, they do the swap. Yeah, because they still do the double header still. So
yeah.
They do the double headers. Do you think anybody can take down Norfolk, man? You think somebody's gonna pull an upset on Norfolk, Brandon? Still one.
I tend to agree with kind of what you said as far as, you know, looking at who stands the best chance of defeating them. I mean, now they really look like a juggernaut. They've got, you know, and Coach Vickers talked about it a little bit on the MEAC call today. You know, a lot of people, he was talking about, you know, the victories over Auburn and Missouri get a lot of the attention, but he was saying they haven't lost to like a CAA team in a couple years and a Big South team in a couple years. So, you know, they're getting it done outside of conference, but even inside of conference, outside of Coppin and maybe Howard. Wait, is that their first Morgan game? Is that on the road or is that at home? I know
it's on the road.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's going to be a test.
It ain't happening this weekend, guys. I'm sorry. It ain't happening on Monday. It ain't happening Monday.
I think they're going to win this weekend. But yeah, this it really depends. It's really going to set up how the rest of the season could potentially play out on the women's side for the MEAC. And here's another. I think the job that Coach Larry Vickers has done with that particular program.
They better get the money ready.
Man, I've
get
heard
the money ready.
Some HWCs kind of kicking the tires and sniffing around. You know, they better get ready to make money because somebody's gonna make a run at him.
Let me tell you something, and he might love it there, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But otherwise, they better get the money, man.
They ain't got it, man.
We extended Terrell, Coach Rob at A&T, because there's folks sniffing around, man. like you better go get the money, man.
So no. Realistically, yeah, definitely. I remember the previous head coach, the men's basketball coach, he went to a school out, a bigger school. So it definitely can happen. So
absolutely. All right. The SWAC is interesting. I think Alabama A&M is probably the best team right now on the SWAC side. I don't think there's a few other competitors there, but I think this is the Alabama A&M show.
Is this where Coach Prime's daughter went to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's, she ran back to the
Well, that's what she wanted to go, man. That's what she wanted to be. She didn't want to leave Jackson, from what I understand. So.
But she was the one who was talking about, oh yeah, they were shooting on campus and they were killing.
No,
people.
that wasn't her.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't her. But we're about to hit this break. When we come back, we're gonna talk about men's basketball within the CAA, the OVC, and we'll talk a little bit of MEAC too.
Yeah.
So we'll be back right after this break.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Lab. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Lab, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Looking for the ultimate cultural experience of 2025? The Zora Outdoor Festival of the Arts is where you need to be. From January 31st to February 2nd, Eatonville, Florida will come alive with incredible live performances from the Levert Experience and the Bar Cave. Immerse yourself in interactive art. Shop from over 80 vendors. Take a journey through history with a new virtual tour app. And enjoy family-friendly STEM activities. Plus, don't miss the unforgettable R&B tribute to the legends, honoring talents such as Whitney Houston, Marvin Gaye, and Luther Vandross. This is more than a festival. It's a celebration of Eatonville's rich cultural heritage. Visit zorafestival.org for tickets.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KeversVoice.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonia from She Say Sports. Make sure to check us out every Friday morning at 9 a.m. on Black College Sports Network, YouTube, and Linktree. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they want to loud, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Welcome back to Dr. Cavil's Inside HBCU Sports Lab, the Indie Report. I got my guy Jeff Johnson and Brandon King with the youngin. All right, so the men, I'll start with A&T. We haven't won a conference game yet. Although I will say, for those who complain about their conference referees, I will take the CAA and W, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Look, man, they had me questioning what a shot clock violation was when I was watching that Drexel game.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching it, you know, and we played good defense, and my man shot the ball, flew in the air, did not hit a rim, hit the backboard, but not a rim.
Yeah.
Buzzer didn't go off. That's probably on us because we were at home, right? But the refs will be paying attention. He caught a shot clock violation to let them get the offensive board. We were like, I was stunned. And they ended up hitting the three after that. So I was furious.
Yep. Yep.
So, but yeah, we didn't look too hot against Elon or Drexel for that matter. We're missing the bigs, man. Like we primarily are based off our guard play, and we got some pretty good guards with Glasper and Forrest and Lamont. So we got some phenomenal and Cam Shell. We got some phenomenal guards, but we got to get some big men. Like we got our forwards playing centers, like, you know, and Chitakuz is doing the best that he can.
Hold on, but he's a big guy.
He's like 6'9".
Oh yeah, so he's more of like
he's more of a forward than a five.
Yeah, forward, yeah, okay, yeah.
Probably better at three, but you know.
Yeah, I know. I definitely agree. I understand. Like for us, like, you know, we started off hot. Now, you know, we kind of cooled a little bit. We lost the last two against Charleston and Elon. Now the Charleston game, we went toe to toe with them. Pretty much at the half. We were only down by 5 at the half, and you know, I would say they kind of like pulled away in the second half. But you know, I'm not going to say that was to be expected, but you know, that team has cohesion. We still got guys who are still trying to figure each other out. So that was against one of the conference heavyweights. Our second game was against Elon, and Tariq was at that game. And of course I watched the whole game at home. And this is the first time that I tend to agree with what you said about the conference refereeing and MEAC, because we've seen this before where they kind of let the game get a little bit, I would say, physical,
out of hand. Like they lost, like when A&T was playing Drexel, they lost control of that game.
Yes,
they lost control of that game.
Same way. And this is what I don't understand. It's like I don't feel like we experienced this in the MEAC. You know, it's like the level. I mean, it's not the physicality. It's kind of like the back and forth. And I noticed with that Elon, a lot of the players were constantly like, they'll shoot a shot. Instead of running back on defense, they're yapping at the referees like, why you ain't calling that? But for the majority of the fans, you know, majority of us, we're sitting here like we're seeing this. And we're the ones who are saying, hey, you know, this is not right. What is going on here? And so we noticed this with Elon a lot of times where the coaches were constantly yapping. The players were definitely yapping. And it was to the point where it's like, what do we do? Do we file a complaint? You know, and if this is going to be what we expect, then I would say in conference play this year, then this is something that we need to either adjust to or just keep playing. But, you know, we do play Campbell tomorrow night. Campbell's kind of a meat and potatoes team. So, and they're known for physicality. So, and it's at our home. So I'm just going to see how this one ends up.
On the Monumental Sports Network.
Yeah. Thank you. There you go.
I'm here to help, man. I'm the government. I'm here to help.
Yeah. So I definitely want to see that we correct because we lost to Elon, of course, Charles. Those are two, I would say, pretty decent programs within the CAA. So definitely want to bounce back against Campbell. Campbell's not really, they're kind of like a mid-tier or kind of a bottom of the pack type of program when it comes to basketball. So it's at home. So we should be able to kind of, I would say, get back into the win column with this game, hopefully.
Yeah, A&T has Delaware and William & Mary. Delaware at home. We're gonna see. We got
beat them last year badly.
Yeah, we got Delaware at home. We got William & Mary on the road.
Yeah, playing at Kaplan. Okay, I have my issues with Kaplan, but you know,
I ain't going there. But we'll see how.
I've been there multiple times. It's a weird place to play.
All right, Tennessee State, man. How's the men doing, Brandon?
So
that was a good start, huh?
It's 5-10. They just beat Little Rock a few days ago. They've got Lindenwood coming up, but some of these games they've been competitive, but they haven't been able to close the show.
Yeah, I'm looking at these scores.
Like
Yeah,
over
man.
that hump. And statistically, you look at them as at least the last time I looked, I've been a little bit out of sorts with hospital stays and everything. But not when statistically you look at them in terms of shooting and scoring in some of these other areas, they're higher in the conference, but it doesn't translate into necessarily on-court success. So right now, what you're there, you've lost 3 out of your 4 conference games. You've got Lindenwood coming up tomorrow, who you did beat the last, and then the game after that,
Western Illinois.
Western Illinois.
Both on the road too.
I mean, there's there's some people that are frustrated with how the program is going right now, and I mean they just haven't played complete basketball. I haven't seen them play consistent 40 minutes, and that's really what it's going to come down to if they're not just going to be bottom feeders in the OVC this year. So
yeah,
I have the concern that I don't have on the women's side, I'm starting to have on the men's side. Coming off the year that they had, I know some guys left. You lost starting point guard, your leading scorer. You did lose. You lost a lot of offense through graduation, through transfer, and things of that nature. But yeah, they from what I've seen, they've not been able to put together a complete ball game. So as they get into play, if they're not able to do that, then these losses are going to continue to pile up. And look, on a side note, now look, if y'all are having referee trouble, I'm sure there's a conference that starts with me and ends with ACT. They probably like, hey, our referees know what shot clock violation.
Man, look. It ain't even the refs. It's the crowd.
Y'all might start getting them big head messages from the MEAC office.
Them things are already coming, my man. But I will say, look, man, and it's funny because we were like, there were folks that are critical about the MEAC ref too. So, but it's just a friendly reminder that nobody likes the refs. Nobody likes the refs, man. It's just when it's like, I get human error happens. It's the level of egregiousness to some of the things I've seen in the CAA since we've been in the conference.
It's just certain things you can't miss.
You can't miss that, and that's one of them, right? Like, you hear the backboard, it didn't touch the rim. It's after. It says 0-0 on the shot clock. No whistle blown.
It's high school refs that would catch that.
Like, I'm serious. Like, it's ridiculous. But it was clear. It was clear during the game what it was going to be, because there was legitimate flagrant fouls that they refused to make flagrant fouls.
Yeah.
And there was a level of chippiness that was happening between A&T and Drexel where it was unsat. Yeah. And I'm not going to say, that's the reason why we lost. But I will say, man, it doesn't help the flow of the game.
What do you think contributes to this extra chippiness I've noticed?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, but you talk trash on the court. You talk trash on the court, but that's where the refs come in. I thought, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. When we played the school down the road, I thought the coach should have gotten the technical. I'll keep it a buck with you.
Moten?
Oh yeah. There was moments in that game where I felt like he was going at the ref, and I'm like, you gonna call this T or not? I was like, are you gonna call this T or not? It was getting ridiculous.
Real talk.
And I was at the game. It was getting ridiculous.
A lot of refs swallow their whistle on Moten. They've been swallowing that whistle for years on him. So
that's a good segue. Then they ain't swallowing that much in the MEAC because that school's 0-2 in the conference right now. They lost a tough one to Morgan State.
Yeah.
And then they lost to Coppin too, if I remember correctly.
It's just a down year for that program.
Yeah, he was because he was talking about that basically his team is they don't have an identity right now.
Yeah.
Is basically what he was saying earlier today. That, and it's easier, and you have a lot of coaches attributing things to the portal, and I will say Coach Moten has been critical of the effects that it's had, particularly on HBCUs in terms of, you find the guys, you develop them, and then the other schools that wasn't paying attention to them come sniffing around, and you lose these guys.
Yeah. So
he's been critical of that, and he was saying that, in terms of the things that we're trying to teach these guys, it's a young team, it's not sticking in terms of what the coaches are trying to communicate. And so he was basically saying, we as coaches need to sit down and evaluate how we're trying to coach these guys and to figure out, what exactly is basically the disconnect. And I'm paraphrasing, of course, but that's essentially what he was saying. But yeah, it was surprising for them to kind of have the start that they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say this. Like, I thought by the time they got to Aggie Eagle, I thought that they were finding their way and they were finding their rhythm, and then A&T beat the brakes off of them. And then after that happened, they went 0-2 in conference play because they were struggling at the beginning of out of conference play. Yeah. But then they started picking it up coming into Aggie Eagle. So so it's kind of interesting to see. On HBCU Nightly, we would try to discuss it, and because we do have two Eagles on the show. One's the host, and he was saying that they just ain't, just like you said, they're not in sync, or they don't have the guys to do what Moten wants to do. To play the way that Moten wants them to play. Yeah. And the other Eagles, like, it's like, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked losing these games.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, you're not shocked losing to Morgan, and even after the Morgan loss yesterday, still not shocked. I'm like, wow. So who y'all gonna beat?
Yeah,
like
South
Carolina State looks good.
Yeah, but that always tapers off, though.
Well, we're gonna see. They look good, man. They look good. Howard's gonna be good. Now Howard's getting healthy.
Yeah,
they're gonna get dangerous once they get healthy.
Yeah, I'm glad we called them when we called them. So.
Yeah, and Norfolk's gonna be still the talk of the town. So
Norfolk is the king. Norfolk, as long as Jones and Vickers are there, I mean, nobody's gonna beat those two.
I mean, Howard might give him some fist. We'll see. Yeah, if Howard gets healthy, we'll see. Yeah. And South Carolina State is like a bunch of Bulldogs trying to convince me before basketball season started South Carolina State was going to be legit. And I got to eat a little bit. I got to eat a little bit of crow, man. They look good so far, man.
They still playing in that banquet hall. They ain't gonna do nothing, man.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Don't let the Bulldogs come after you, man. I know. The HU Power Ship Twitter handle's gone, but I know you still out here in the Elon street. So don't be out here. Be gentle out here, man. All right, man. Any last thoughts before I do the outro? I think this is a good time to close it.
No, we're good. I'll just say again, rest in peace to rest in power, Mr. CIAA.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's like CIAA goes back in my family probably since the 1940s. So so he's been a staple, and we appreciate him.
All right, what about you, Brandon?
No, I'm just I know we've talked a lot of basketball. Football obviously got a lot of the attention with some of the celebrity hires that have been made. So
we really didn't talk too much about it though, but
we didn't. But if you want, we can have it. I can take a quick short break. We can come back. We can talk about some of these hires, then we can close out. Do the last final five. Do a quick break.
If we can get into it by 5 minutes, that's cool.
Yeah. Let me go get this third break in, so Dr. will be thrilled. We'll be right back right after this break.
Morehouse College and Tuskegee University men's basketball teams were selected to compete in the 2025 NBA HBCU Classic presented by AT&T. The fourth annual NBA HBCU Classic will be played in the Bay Area as part of NBA All-Star 2025 and will once again celebrate the rich traditions, on-court athleticism, and commitment to excellence of the HBCU community. For tickets, visit nba.com/all-star.
Compress the analytic data with your hip-hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Welcome back to Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab, the Indian Report. All right. Like we discussed prior to the open, before you got here, Brandon, man, I watched Deshaun Jackson's presser and I watched Tremaine Jackson's pressure, and you want to talk about, and I thought Deshaun Jackson did a pretty good job considering, right? And his suit, and I ain't talking about his suit, but that man came fresh out of Easter that day.
It's fresh out of K&G.
Yeah, man, but the colors were right, so you can't be mad at it. So what are your thoughts about the Deshaun Jackson experience down at Delaware State?
I said I was actually surprised when it was announced. Because like I said, I could run in the wrong circles, but to me it was a name that caught me off guard because I hadn't really heard much about him in terms of coaching or really connected to any jobs, even shown a coach. But nonetheless, when you're Delaware State and you're trying to get the stink of that ridiculous Milstead firing off of you. You got to try something, and at least you are winning. The public, the attention battle, because right now more people are talking about Delaware State football than I can tell you when. So if nothing else, it's getting you that. And I think really he's going to be able to get some guys in there. If nothing else off name, and from what I've heard, he's got some connections. So he may be able to actually get in there and do a good job. And like I said, I really hope he does. Because I want to see these guys succeed, because ultimately, anything that can happen to lift up, be it MEAC or SWAC, CIAA, SIAC, Independents as a whole or individually, I'm for it. So I'm definitely supporting and rooting for him.
No, I definitely agree with you on that one. I think that was pretty much the mission of what these HBCUs are. It's like Deshaun Jackson ain't getting hired over at William & Mary. They're not bringing him in over at.
They're not going to give him a time. They're not giving him a shot by any stretch of the imagination right now. Not to be a head coach.
Not at Stony Brook. None of those places. But it's like we understand them. That's our guy. We get it. I was shocked because I thought he was on that podcast circuit for a minute. Every time I saw him, he was talking about he was on podcasts. So I was pretty shocked. But his press conference was pretty good. He said all the key words, all the things that brings I would say that recruits want to hear. My concern is Delaware State, not Deshaun Jackson. Can they figure it out, whatever, to give him whatever he needs to be successful there? And that is my concern. But I do agree. The MEAC and Delaware State and Norfolk State, but this is going to be it's going to be must-see TV,
Oh, yeah.
Definitely must-see TV. And hopefully this will give some momentum for Delaware State to, either improve their facilities or improve their product, because their product's been pretty putrid since the Al Levon days. That's the only time that they've actually been pretty good since Al Levon, rest in peace. So, yeah.
It's going to be fascinating when you watch how Vic and Jackson do at their respective programs.
Yeah.
And man, I want to see what Tremaine Jackson does at Prairie View, man. I really do.
Yeah.
I look, man, I watched that presser, man. I already knew he was impressive because I've seen Valdosta State play.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I think that's a different level of coaching that the SWAC has seen, that type of guy. You know, they've had legends, but I kind of felt like that Jackson brings in a different type of tenor. So I'm excited to see what Prairie View can do to match what he can bring to the table.
Yeah, I said I missed his introductory, but I caught when he was on Dr. Cavil show and they did the interview with him and listening to him. I think he's going to have that situation turned around and firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
In pretty short order, because and it's been said before, but you think about Valdosta State.
Yeah.
And you know they're pretty. You know, for them to the history that they have, and they decided to bring a brother in to keep this thing rolling, and he did.
Yeah.
Considering how serious they are about football down there, it kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And you know, you heard his name, you know, bannered about, you know, potentially this job and that job, but I think for Prairie View to get him, that's a grand slam hire. They absolutely knocked it out of the park.
In Prairie View, of all places.
Yeah.
But they got the facilities, man. So, like, you can attract a good coach with those facilities they have.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree. He's not going to Mississippi Valley State, but, you know, he went to Prairie View. Good.
Well, right now, nobody's going to Mississippi Valley State. They still don't have a coach.
I mean,
so, yeah.
I mean,
maybe an NFL player take the job.
No, no.
Trey Boston could take the job.
Mississippi Valley State needs to seriously think about Division II.
No, you know what? I'm not getting in that discussion. I got beat up on Twitter last week over that discussion. I am not getting in that discussion.
Are they just going to be the perpetual Vanderbilts or the doormats of the SWAC? So, I mean,
they the squad that's going to clip somebody every year.
Yeah, they clip somebody.
This year was FAMU. Next year they're going to clip somebody else. That is what Valley is.
Yeah.
They're going to clip somebody. They're going to ruin somebody's chances.
Yeah, okay.
That's what they're going to do.
That's what they're going to do.
I think Valley, coaching thing aside, when they let Hakeem McClellan walk out of the door, I said, oh, yeah, they're in trouble.
Who is in charge of the leadership down there? They can't notice what talent looks like. That's what.
Well, he went to Jackson, right?
Yeah.
So he left to go to Jackson.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, you know, you let that guy walk out of the door. Somebody from an athletic leadership standpoint.
Yeah.
If anybody could raise the level of that program, it would have been him.
Yeah.
Considering, you know, the tree that he comes from, but you know, he's back in the fold at Jackson State.
Back where you want to be.
A precursor to it. It's something else coming down the pike for him because he is way too talented.
Yeah.
Not to be an athletic director somewhere else.
Yeah. Prairie View winning the West, it's premature. But go ahead, let's finish up.
Yeah, we're gonna close out the show. I already got them penciled in winning the West. Like I already
stop.
Listen, man. And I know we're gonna go over and I'm fine with it. But for me, it ultimately boils down to this. I don't think the West as a division is that strong.
I agree.
So when I think about who could win that conference, I'm gonna defer to coaching at this point. And there ain't no better coach in that conference than him. On that side, let me be clear. And I you could say the SWAC, but I'm gonna give my respect to TC Taylor because what he just did, right?
Yeah.
But but when you talk about on the West,
yeah. Because you
look, guy, I'm just saying it's coaching matters, man. Like I think it matters more than we want to give credit for.
Yeah.
You know, A&T, a lot of folks didn't hop in that portal at A&T. I don't think we're gonna be as bad as we were last year. I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think Gibbs is a better coach.
Better coach. He's a Jeff Fisher, in my opinion. He's a Jeff Fisher.
I mean, look, man, I'll take 8-8. I'll take 5-5. I just went 2-22 in 2 years. 21 in 2 years.
Y'all went from Hugh Jackson to Jeff Fisher. Good. It's all right.
I don't even know. I won't say Hugh Jackson, but I mean, Hugh Jackson didn't win no championships. Sam did that. But, you know, all right. Oh, I'll give it to you. Talking about from Brown to Gibbs. I mean, look, we'll see, man.
Yeah.
We ain't got a conference win yet. So, like how about we start there first?
Woo!
How we start there first? You know, get a conference.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for listening to Inside HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure you share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. We look forward to next week as we discuss the latest news in the lab. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, ChampD1012 for me, Jeffrey Alpha 06 for Jeff Johnson, and go to sneakershoptalk.com for Brandon King. And make sure you follow Dr. Kenyatta Cavil on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and follow Inside the HBCU Sports Lab on Facebook and on YouTube. Dream big and continue to move forward. We'll talk to you guys soon. Jeff.
Of course.
Brandon.
Lecture.
Dismiss. You guys have a lovely evening.